Today we're having the Foster Adopt Fall Festival that happens every year as a recruitment event featuring county and private agencies that license foster homes for children who are unable to safely remain in their homes.
This year we've tried to make it really easy to know who's here and what it is that their goal is. So we kind of have folks grouped together by family foster care, therapeutic, and adoption agencies.
It's a nice place in one setting where you can speak to Buncombe County DSS. We have some of our neighboring counties as well, and our private agency partners who license foster parents. So you can get information, contact information, learn about training, what you need to have and what you need to do in order to become a foster parent. Events like this are important because the community is not aware in general of the need that we have to provide safe homes for kids who are in foster care.
I think a lot of people have a misconception about the adoption process, and these types of events are able to share information with those who may be open to adoption. Some folks go into it with just the idea of fostering and end up adopting as well. For example, I have a foster parent that became licensed and is now adopting a 16-year-old who's been sitting in foster care for 6 years. And so these kids achieve permanency and they get a forever family, and the impact is wide all through North Carolina. There are thousands of children in foster care, and it's quite a few in Buncombe County alone that are cleared for adoption. So these events are important to get the word out that these children need homes.
Foster care is a temporary situation, and we need families who will support those children and provide them with a safe, caring environment while they're in foster care. And then there are times when children can't safely return home, and some of those foster parents are also interested in providing a permanent home through adoption.
Our children have suffered abuse, neglect, or either they're dependent and need a safe place to be until their family, hopefully, or some other permanent home can be identified.
We have about 260 children in foster care currently. We've seen a sharp increase. Those kids, we try to maintain all of the kids within their home communities, so it's particularly important to have foster families in the communities where kids come from, which can be everywhere from Asheville proper to surrounding areas. And we want to have a really robust, diverse mix of foster parents so that we can match them best with children, and that we also can have foster families who will take teenagers. That sometimes is a little bit more difficult to find families who will take teenagers, as well as sibling groups.
We've had since July, approximately 72 children come into custody, and because of that, we just do not have the homes that are available to meet all the needs. So we have to contract with private agencies, and so we're here in Buncombe County. We prefer to be able to place them within our own county agency and within our own homes. And by working with DSS, we know the system, we understand it, and we work well within the system and working with families.
The training, it was just a few weekends that we had to give up. We did, I think, 5-6 hour classes. And it was actually one of the best experiences that Christy and I had as a couple.
We went into it thinking we were pretty clear about what fostering was all about, but the class that we took, it really, I feel like now that we've been foster parents for over a year, we draw on it almost every day. It was incredibly useful, and it gave us a lot of really good tools, and all the information that we learned in it we've used.
Anybody who's interested in fostering can contact Buncombe County DSS at 250-5868 or email at familiesforkids@buncombecounty.org. And we have licensing social workers who respond to those calls and inquiries and can help people understand the process and the requirements and how important the need is for children in foster care.
We have an incredible team. We call them the team. We have a guardian ad litem who speaks for the children, and she comes over and plays with the kids a couple times, about once a month. And then we have our, Heather is our support person.
Licensing worker.
Yeah, our licensing worker. And then Autumn is our social worker. And then we have a therapist. And we have all of them on email, and we just email the group, and other people get involved too. So it's
as well as now, actually, the kids' biological grandparents are really involved with our
Yeah, it's
story.
great.
That's actually who's watching them right now.
So
as we're
we
here.
worked long and hard to make that happen.
One of the biggest things is to get people to know exactly what you've been through. You've had the experiences, not necessarily all of them, but whenever they have questions, it's good to have somebody who has already had those experiences that can talk to them about them and hopefully dispel any rumors that they may have heard or any questions they have in their mind.
Working with the kid's biological family has really been something that's been a really important step sort of in the long-term process. We're in a position where we're looking at fostering and potentially adopting in the long term, and just being able to have the kids still connected with their family and with their extended family that they knew and grew up with is just really, really important. And we get the benefit of support from two additional.
We have grandparents who live in town now, and we've grown our family. So not just by having extra children, but now we have extra grandparents. So I mean, it's awesome.
To have this experience, I mean, this is, it's turned us from just a sort of this little island and us as a couple into a family, and now we're part of the community. We're part of a network of people who support and care for kids that otherwise may not have been supported and cared for in a way that's really meaningful.
Some of our single friends who don't have kids just come over and hang out because they are just part of our little family now. So it's awesome.
Actually, we have an adopted son that was a foster child, and we asked him that question today. We asked him on the way over, if a parent asks you why they should adopt, what would you tell them? And quite frankly, he said, we need a home. We need a family.
Don't overthink it. I mean, if you love children, the thing I heard in class that I always share with people is, I don't care what question you're going to ask me or what answer I'm going to give you, one day of love for a child is more important than none. So if you just do one day, you're giving more than you could possibly know, and you need to go into it for the child and not for yourself. So whenever you're asking all those questions, well, I can't imagine getting attached and giving them up. Too bad. It's about the kid and giving them at least one day of love.